This is the craziest summer internship I could ever had in my entire life. I mean, there was people that have like 8 college degrees. I have 0 right now. It was weird to be the last of my kind. If you had told me in January that I'd be standing in the city being the top 10 of a show, I would have never believed you.
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Behind the Beast, where we get to know the contestants on Beast Game Season 2, Strong vs. Smart.
What's up, guys? My name's Jack. I'm player number 58 on Beast Game Season 2, and I'm a computer engineering student here at Purdue University.
So what is kind of the long-term goal that you want to do with this career?
So long-term goal, I want to work in the computer engineering sphere. I know, simple enough.
Very simple.
But, the real goal is I want to work in, the industry, the aerospace industry, work with, rockets, technology, space stations, satellites. I love Earth, great place, but, the stars is really where I want to be. So I really want to apply my computer engineering degree to that industry and, see what happens in the future.
So whenever it comes time to it, do you think you're going to be one of those people that signs up to be on a spaceship to go to Mars?
If they told me right now to go to Mars, let me pack my bag, give me 20 minutes to shower, and then I'll be on my way.
There we go. Got to do shower. That's very important. Cool. So now, you were one of your top performers at your high school. So was this academic discipline always a part of your process, or did you have to get to it through hard work and discipline?
I'll say luckily enough, academics have always come to me, but at the same time, it does not come easy.
Sure.
I still have to spend that time, in the computer lab, in my room, studying day and night.
Sure.
There's a lot of times where I feel like a night owl, where I rarely see the sunlight. The only time I see it is during exam season.
Sure.
When I go and walk out to the exam. It does not come easy, but at the same time, I feel very lucky that, there are some people that have to put 20 hours into studying for exam. Maybe I only have to put in 19.
Hey, there you go. Okay, you got the 1 hour.
Saving that 1 hour, yeah.
Cool. So, do you feel like compared to how you were in high school and studying there, how much more intensive is the workload now?
It is night and day. I thought high school was hard at times. Some of those AP classes, they really add up. And then you get here and every class is an AP class, and some of them feel like the hardest class you've ever seen in your entire life. And you have 4 of those, and you're taking those all at the exact same time. So, at times it really does feel like a burden. It is a difficult place to be. Computer engineering is a difficult major, and Purdue University itself is a very difficult,
high distinct,
university to be at. So it is difficult at times, but I love it. It's a grind that I appreciate doing every day.
So now you went to a military high school. Do you think that helped you prepare for what was to come to Beast Games and the discipline that came with it? And can you talk to us about what the day-to-day there is?
Weirdly enough, it actually, I think, did help me. When I came into high school, I was definitely, a quieter kid. I had transferred from a public middle school into this military school. So I was meeting everyone for the first time. Yeah. So meeting everyone for the first time and being in that military environment, it opened me up. I started to talk to a lot more people. I started to be a lot more open with conversations, learning to, speak in front of an audience, speak in front of a crowd, command people, learn when to speak and when to be spoken to. Yeah. That whole experience of high school is 100% one of the reasons why I think I did so well in the game, because if you had plucked me from middle school and thrown me into that game, I would have been out a long, long time before I did now, because I didn't know how to talk to people. And, being in that military school forced me to talk to people and forced me to learn all these things that end up having a huge benefit with me in the games.
And it feels like you kind of learned that locker room talk mentality with a lot of the strong guys as well, and you're able to blend in and actually befriend them. Sometimes I think there's a very clear distinction between strong and smart, but you were honestly somewhere in the middle. I feel like you could get along with both groups.
Listen, having that academic side to me, but at the same time going to an all-boys school, I think I took the best of both worlds. I was able to apply, the academic side to a lot more of the smart fellas, and then I definitely did learn a lot of that locker room talk in high school, and that helped me greatly with the strong friends, Nick, August, Tyler, Corey, Brett, all of them. I think it benefited me greatly with them.
So now you're currently a Brotherhood chair for Sigma Nu at Purdue University, and you're responsible for creating a lot of events that people in your fraternity go to. When it comes to actually planning these events, what makes a great event? Is it kind of the chaos of the fraternity life? Is it something it has to be very well organized, or is it somewhere in between?
Listen, if guys are screaming and have a good time, then I had a success. There's a lot of loud, fun, huge personalities in that house, myself included, and what guys love is just having a fun time with everyone else. There's a large stress to school. I know a lot of people in there are engineering majors, pilots, difficult majors, and they spend a lot of their time studying and working hard to get good grades here.
Sure.
So with these events, I wanted to have an opportunity to take a little steam off, to enjoy themselves, to be the guys they love to have fun with themselves. A lot of times we do grill outs, we go to movie theaters, go to the beach, just hang out with everyone. A lot of the times, we'll sit up in our second floor room and just play Smash Brothers with each other.
There you go.
It's the
Boyhood.
it's the simple things. Not everything needs to be extravagant. Sometimes it's just getting everyone to sit down on the couch and watch a movie together. Because it's those little moments that a couple of years down the line, those are the memories that everyone's gonna enjoy and have a fond memory about. Yeah.
So do you feel like in a fraternity it's easier to get to know people, or in Beast Games wherever we don't have our phones and we're kind of like forced to communicate with each other?
I think both. I mean, obviously in a fraternity you're kind of forced to talk to each other. I live with in the house I live with 50 plus guys.
Dang, okay.
So every day when you walk out of your room to go to class or go to lunch or whatever, you walk by 5 or 6 guys. Sure. And you learn instantly how to have those little conversations with everyone. It doesn't have to be a full-fledged 20-minute sit-down conversation, but maybe just a 30-second conversation in the hallway. And I think I actually took that application that I learned from my fraternity and applied it to the show because, when we first walked into the city, there was 100 people there, and you can't have, 30-minute, hour-long conversations with every single person in the city. Not enough time in the day. So instead, I would just, have these little conversations, maybe 1 to 2 minutes, maybe, sitting down at the Feastables Cafe or, walking around the city, just having these little conversations and making those bonds with everyone. So I would say it was easier in Beast Games, though, because no one had a phone at all. So you are, once again, forced to have a conversation with everyone. You cannot hide from conversation. Yeah. Can't go sit on your phone and play Angry Birds for 3 hours. You can't really hide anywhere in Beast City.
Because even in the dorm, other people are in the dorm. If you try to
25 people per dorm, you can't really take a nap because people are constantly coming in and out, and everyone there loves to talk. It's a reality TV show. There's not a lot of quiet personalities. So, you're kind of forced to have conversation. But I loved it, so I had a great time.
You did mention that you have a dual side to yourself, both the academic side that you can get along with the smart team, and then also the fun and outgoing side that you can get along with the strong team. So when it comes to those things, which do you think was more helpful in Beast Games? Was it the critical thinking from having your computer engineering education, or is it the social skills you develop in a fraternity?
I'm going to go with social skills because, believe me, there was a lot of smart people there, a lot of people that have way better critical thinking skills than me. I mean, there was people that have worked at NASA, rocket scientists, people that have 8 college degrees. I have 0 right now. So I wouldn't certainly even put myself in the top 30 people for top critical thinking skills, but I would put myself up there for social skills. I think I am very good at having conversations with people, very easy to kind of, jump into any conversation that I was having in the city and be able to relate and connect to the people there. And I'm able to talk to a brick wall. Sometimes it is not a benefit, but I can talk for hours on end without getting tired, which was, I think, a benefit in the city because, we had 24 hours in a day and I felt like I was spent 20 of them walking around. I barely got any sleep when I was in the city. So I just walked around all day trying to talk to people, trying to build these connections. Hopefully people looked at me, fondly, and that they did not want to throw me out of the city.
And hey, I mean, it did work out because at the end of the day, you ended up becoming the strongest male in the city at that point. So how did that feel?
Strongest?
Smart. You ended up becoming the smartest male in the city.
There we go.
So how did that actually feel?
Very weird. I mean, I remember those days fondly of just having 100 people in the city, and it was chaotic and it was fun. And, as we went down from 100 to 50 to 25 to 20, all the way down, it felt very lonely at times, which is weird to say, but just I remember being in a dorm with all these friends of mine, all these smart guys, and to look around and not see them anymore. No offense to all the great people in the city, I loved them, but it was weird to be the last of my kind.
And then eventually you had to move into the strong dorm as the smart person. So how did that feel, having to accumulate to their environment?
Truthfully, I was a little nervous. I had spent multiple weeks in this dorm. I had grown accustomed to my bed, kind of my place in the dorm. It felt like home away from home. So to have to walk all 100 steps to the
the opposite side,
the strong dorm, it was a long walk. It did feel weird at first. I almost did feel out of place, but I grew accustomed to those guys. A lot of those guys I do call very close friends now. So it ended up being a huge benefit. I love everyone that I got to spend that time with in the strong dorm, and no offense to the smart dorm, but they snore a lot less over there in the strong dorm. So maybe I should have started sleeping in there from the beginning.
Actually, is that actually true? Because I feel like
There was one. I mean,
okay. I heard that Strong Dorm they had like multiple, and maybe
but
they got out.
They got it. But by the time I was in there, I mean,
Yeah.
there was like one snore. It was Strongman Tyler.
Okay, yeah.
So hopefully that's.
So now, one of my first earliest moments that I don't even know if it's going to make the show because it was kind of quick was whenever we had a talent show in this city. And you had to race off with the other jacks, and we called it the jack off. So
I don't think that's making air. I don't think that's going to be there.
A family-friendly show.
Yeah.
But how was that moment of like competing against those guys and then being one of 3 jacks at that point? Do you feel like that kind of like hurt your chances at first of being able to be like known within the city as your name?
I don't think it necessarily did. I mean, obviously, I love the 2 jacks. Unfortunately, the night after that talent show, they both walked away from the game. They were no longer with us. But no, I don't think it had an impact on my game at all because, you know, I think each one of us jacks were almost completely different in personality. So I think I stood out from the rest of them. You know, we had our names on our jerseys, but at the same time, name is not everything. Personality was, for the most part, everything. So I don't think it necessarily had an impact. I love those 2 jacks. I wish them the best. But, you know, at the end, I did win the jack off.
There you go.
I did not win the race, but I won the war.
There you go. I love that. So you really were getting along with a lot of the strong guys because even in the obstacle course, yours was the one team that only had 1 smart person while every other team had 2 smart people.
Yeah.
So was that intentional or did that just happenstance the way things turned out?
It wasn't necessarily intentional. We had that group of 5 planned before the game because we suspected that was going to be with 50 people left, about 10 teams of 5. So we had that team of 5 set. And then Jimmy announced that only one team was allowed to have 1 smart person and every other team needed to have 2 smart people. And looking at our group, we realized we only did have 1 smart person. So we decided just to sprint towards the platform and lock ourselves in so that no one else could have the opportunity. Because we didn't want to have to switch our team and kind of throw someone out because that ruins the relationship with the group. So we decided it was better just to sprint as fast as we could and lock in our team with 1 smart person instead of having to try and figure out who we're kicking out. Regardless, I was safe because, you know, I was a smart person. You needed
So they would have had to kick out a strong person.
Yes.
But you didn't want to do that.
I didn't want to do that. I loved our entire group. So we decided, let's just run forward and see if we can just be the one team with 1 smart person. And it ended up working out.
So now you actually beat kind of a record. You were now the youngest person to ever reach the top 10 status. So how was that like for yourself?
It's very weird. I kept joking during the show that this is the craziest summer internship I could have ever had in my entire life. You know, if you had told me in January that in like July I'd be standing in the city being, you know, the top 10 of a show that I was actively watching at the time, I would have never believed you. You know, it's a surreal feeling to have this experience at such a young age. I know, you know, so many people in the entire world will never have this experience, let alone at the age that I am right now. So, you know, I'm going to forever take it. Like, I'm going to forever be grateful for that moment. And, you know, there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about it, especially like being in this college environment. It's like, I still can't believe it. It's incredible.
So now you haven't told like anyone around you. You mentioned that even the people in your fraternity have no idea. So like, how is it to keep something like this big as a secret this entire time for months on end?
It's a very weird secret. So I remember when I got accepted to be on the show, it said, you know, you can be gone for up to 6 weeks. And I was trying to think, like, how do I potentially get away with, you know, being gone for so long with
responsibilities?
You know, I'm a college student, so I don't have that many responsibilities. But I was trying to figure out how I could get away with like being on the show without telling anyone and kind of being away from my phone for so long. And the plan I decided on was just not to say anything and just to go off the face of the earth. Because I thought there was a chance I'd be back in 3 days, and you know, that's explainable. Oh, sorry, wasn't on my phone or whatever. And I ended up being gone for 6 weeks. So when I opened my phone again after the show wrapped, I had multiple messages from, you know, friends and family thinking I was dead.
I had the exact same thing happen.
They were very concerned why I disappeared for so long. And the lie that I made up was that I was doing a medical research study, which, if you think about it too hard, makes 0 sense. But it's just enough of a weird thing that they don't question it too much, and they just moved on. So
not too technical. Don't want to get into that.
So for now, no one suspects a thing for now. So it'll be a fun story when I reveal that I was actually, you know, on this giant television show during the summer. So it'll be fun.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, to finish things off, we're going to do some rapid fire questions. You ready?
Let's hit it.
Let's do it. What's the most awkward frat icebreaker that you've ever survived?
One guy, when I was rushing my fraternity, asked me if I had all 10 toes intact, to which I said yes, and then he immediately walked away. So
I mean, that's an important question to get to know about someone.
Luckily, still have all 10.
We're good. Now, what is the worst academic disaster that you've experienced?
My freshman year, I was in a coding class and an English class, and one time I submitted my English essay to the coding class and my code to the English class. So that was not fun. Got a 0 on both.
Oh, you got 0 on both.
That's how we do it at Purdue University.
Dang,
so
right. Don't mess with.
Lesson learned. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what's the craziest party story that you can safely tell on camera?
The safest party story I can tell is that there have been multiple times where I've been the ordained minister at a fraternity party.
Nice.
So I've had the opportunity to legally marry people. It's always a fun event. I got to do it to Jim and Monica when we were there in the city. So if anyone needs a ordained minister, you know who to call.
There you go. Now, what is one of the things that made you stand out as smart on your Beast Games application?
I guess my claim to fame would be when I was 16, I joined Mensa, which is known as one of the top academic clubs in the entire world. I don't keep up with Mensa anymore. It's kind of in the past. All love to everyone in Mensa, but I just thought it was a fun little side quest to do, and looks really good on a resume, and I guess it looks really good for Beast Games.
And they were really pushing that on the application. Like if you looked at the application, they were like, "Are you Mensa? Are you Mensa?" So there you go.
Well, when I saw, I was like, I have to mention it.
Fair enough. Yeah. Now, what are you going to take away from your experience on Beast Games?
I think the thing I'm going to take away is that never give up. There were so many moments in the show where I doubted myself that I shouldn't be here. I can't hang with the strongest and the smartest people in the entire world, especially at my age too, because for the most part I felt very out of place with my age. There was very few teenagers on the show, so the one thing I'm going to take away is don't give up on yourself. Always have confidence going into a challenge, because I constantly doubted myself, but the moment I started to look at myself and realize you can do this is the moment I really started to succeed in the game.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, again, thank you again for your time here today, and thank you for the audience for joining us for another episode of Behind the Beasts.
Thank you. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you for watching another episode of Behind the Beasts. It genuinely means the world to me. Now, for those who do not know, we are also doing a fundraiser across the entirety of the series for Major Connections. It is a foundation created by Gloria, one of the other contestants on the show, and its purpose is to provide resources as well as a sense of community for those with disabilities, both kids and adults, in rural communities. Now, oftentimes major cities, they have the funds to be able to provide these resources, but smaller cities do not, and that is what Major Connections aims to solve. If you want to learn more about Major Connections, check out the link in the description. If you have the financial means to do so, please donate to the cause. And if you don't at this moment, that's okay. Please share it with your friends and family. But for now, thank you for taking the time to watch Behind the Beasts, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.